Good morning, dears, and welcome to Super Coaching for UPSC by Textbook. And today we meet here to discuss expected questions on board an account. That what can be the expected questions from fiscal policy of government, and that means most important questions we are going to discuss. We meet here to discuss. So let's start our session, and you must be knowing me. I am Pradeep, your economy mentor. So let's start our session. So in that regard, the very first question is, that what is the fiscal, what is the very first question? The very first question is fiscal deficit implies. What is the meaning of fiscal deficit? Okay, and fiscal deficit is nothing but need of borrowing. When we talk about the fiscal deficit, Aswani, good morning, dear. Good morning, dear. So, what is fiscal deficit? Fiscal deficit is nothing but need of borrowing. That means that what is budget for the government? Budget is nothing but financial statement of estimated receipts and expenditure of the government. That means government has some total expenditure and government has total receipts. Okay, so that means in case of India, government's total expenditure of government is more than total expenditure of government is more than total receipts of government. So what is going to be? So that means in order to meet out the mismatch, between the total receipts and expenditure, the government need to borrow. So fiscal, that is technically known as fiscal deficit. So what is fiscal deficit? Fiscal deficit is nothing but need of borrowing by the government, and this fiscal deficit is nothing but that means when we talk about the fiscal deficit, but although we have discussed already, so what is going to be the answer? Shubham, let me know the answer. Fiscal deficit. What is fiscal deficit? Fiscal deficit is nothing but total expenditure minus revenue receipts plus non-debt creating capital receipts. So this is fiscal deficit. Okay, so that this is fiscal deficit. So that's why when we talk about this, that question, that it is talking about that what is fiscal deficit, the very first statement is total expenditure minus revenue receipts plus recovery of loan plus receipts from disinvestment. So this is going to be wrong, because that's the very first option is going to be wrong. Second is statement is total expenditure minus total receipts plus all sources including borrowings. So that means this is going to be answer, because what I said, that total that what is no dear, this is going to be, option is going to be B. Okay, Shubham, the right answer is B. Only. So that is nothing but we talked about now, that what is fiscal deficit. Fiscal deficit is nothing but total expenditure minus total receipts, and that means in case of government of India, total expenditure is more than total receipts. So how government is going to meet out this mismatch? That is nothing but fiscal deficit. So that is nothing but need of borrowing. So when we are going to include the need of borrowing with the total receipts of the government, that is going to give us the idea of, and when we are going to subtract it from the total expenditure, it is going to give us the idea of fiscal deficit. So the right answer is B. So now we are going to proceed further, and we are going to discuss the next question, and the next question is, which of the following is likely to be the most inflationary in its effect? Okay, it is talking about that what most inflationary in its effect. So the very first option is repayment of public debt. Second is borrowing from public to finance a budget deficit. C is borrowing from banks to finance the budget deficit, and D is creation of new money to finance the budget deficit. So this is nothing but most inflationary in an economy. That is known as deficit financing. That is technically known as deficit financing. This concept is no more in India. That we amended this concept since 1997, and in place of deficit financing we came with the new concept that is known as WMA, wage and means advances. We came with the wage and means advances because what is going to be that temporary there is going to be mismatch between the total receipts and total expenditure of the government. There is going to be, the right answer is D. Yeah, yes, yes, Shubham, it is D only. So what is going to be, let me explain, let me give the explanation as well, that what used to be that before 1997 that there used to be the mismatch between total receipts and total expenditure of the government. That the concept was known as budget deficit. Earlier there was something which was known as budget deficit, that is nothing but total expenditure or total receipts. So that was used to be zero, because always total receipts of the government is going to be equal to total expenditure by taking into account the need of borrowing as well. Okay, so what was there, that for the first quarter there used to be mismatch between total expenditure and for the first quarter there used to be mismatch between the receipts of the government, and in the first quarter government has to make the expenditure. And that means because this budget used to take 90 days in passing, and our financial year used to start from 1st April. So it used to, that means at that time it used to pass up to June last. So that means for April and May the government need to have the funds. So for that government used to issue the ad hoc treasury bills. Government used to issue the ad hoc treasury bills. On the behalf of that, government used to take borrowings from the RBI for the temporary period, just for the first quarter. And it was expected that once the budget is going to be passed, appropriation bill is going to be passed, the government will return back that money. What used to be, government never used to return that money, whatever has been taken by the government from the RBI on the behalf of ad hoc treasury bills. And the government used to ask the RBI to print a money, to print a new currency on the behalf of ad hoc treasury bills. And because of that, was known as deficit financing. And that because of that, because we are not able to increase our production, but we are able to increase our money supply, so prices were booming. There used to be increase in prices, that is known as inflation. And it was also instrumental for the that means crowding out of the private sector. It was also instrumental for the crowding out of the private sector. That's why in 1997 we amended this concept of budget deficit, we amended the concept of ad hoc treasury bills, and we amended the concept of deficit financing. So that means this was, deficit financing is the most inflationary in any economy. Printing of new currency, if you are going to print new currency without increasing your production capacity, it will definitely be inflationary in the economy. So the right answer is going to be D only. Right answer is going to be D only. Now we are going to proceed further, and we are going to discuss the next question, that is, which of the following is capital receipts of the government budget? It is talking about capital receipts. Keyword is capital receipts they are talking about. So let me know the answer, dears. Let me know the answer. The question is, which one of the following is capital receipts in the government budget? Very first option is interest receipts on loan given by the government to other parties. Second is dividend and profit from the public sector undertakings. C is borrowings of the government from public. D is income tax receipts. So what is right answer? Sir, there is one term I read, surplus revenue by RBI is given to the sir, there is one term I read, surplus revenue by RBI is given to the government of India. It is nothing like that you are confusing. Shubham, you are confusing. Okay. There is nothing like that. It is not like that if RBI has surplus of revenue, then only RBI is going to lend out to the government. Whenever government need to have the borrowings, the RBI has to manage the borrowings of the government. Okay, so that is not like that. So the right answer is going to be the right answer. Wrong, Shubham. Your answer is wrong. The right answer is not B. Attempt it once again. we have discussed that the budget of the government can be categorized under two categories. One is revenue budget, other is capital budget. So capital budget is the receipts and expenditure only. So when we talk about the, let me explain. So that means budget can be categorized under two categories. One is revenue budget, other is capital budget. And this revenue budget can be divided under two categories. One is revenue receipts. Be very clear about this structure and revenue expenditure, because many questions are going to be from this structure itself, revenue expenditure. Similarly, capital budget can be categorized as capital receipts and capital expenditure. So this capital receipts are, the nature is such that it is going to reduce the assets of the government. That means government will definitely get the money, but because of that money, either governments the assets will decrease, or their liability will increase. The nature of capital expenditure is such that their assets will increase. Government has to spend the money, but because of that spending, government's assets will increase or government liability will decrease. This is the nature of, okay. So that means what are the, and the question is that which of the following is capital receipt. Capital receipt means government will get the funds. So that means the budget can be categorized under two categories, revenue and capital. Revenue means that means those transactions which are recurrent in nature. So on the revenue account or revenue budget, those receipts and expenditure will be accounted which are recurrent in nature. Recurrent means that repeats itself again and again. Whereas on the capital account, those transactions are going to be accounted, or those receipts and expenditure is going to be account through which either there is going to be change in assets or liability. Right answer is C only. So the right answer is C only. Okay, right answer is C. Sachin Sharma, wrong. Right answer is C only. So right answer is C only. So that means what is going to be? So assets are going to be decreased and liability is going to be increased. Okay. So that means capital receipts, the nature. That means that this is borrowings from the, okay. So this is going to be, the very first is going to be interest receipt on the living loans given by the government to the other party. That will be part of non-tax revenue receipts. That whenever the government is going to get the receipts on the past loans, that will be part of non-tax revenue receipts. And second will be dividend and profit from the public sector undertaking. That will also be the part of non-tax revenue receipts. The income tax receipts, it will be part of tax receipts. Okay, that will be part of tax revenue receipts. So that means this is the part of revenue account or revenue receipts. This is also part of revenue receipts, and this is also part of revenue receipts. So that means revenue receipts can be categorized as tax receipts and non-tax receipts. So this is part of that means non-tax receipts, and it is also part of non-tax revenue receipts, and it is part of tax revenue receipts. So this is the part of capital receipts. So that means this through that C option C, that governments, undoubtedly government is going to get the funds. That means government is going to get the money, but because of that, because government is taking loans, so because of that, government's future liability is going to increase. And what I talked about, that capital, the nature of capital receipts is such that government will get the funds, but because of those funds, either government's assets will decrease or government liability will increase. Okay, so that means that this is the nature, that if the government is going to take borrowings from public, and government take the borrowings from public through national saving certificate, through Kisan Vikas Path, etc. Okay, so when government is taking borrowings from general public, That means government is getting funds, but government's liability to pay in future is going to increase. That's why it will be part of capital receipts. Now let's proceed further. Let's proceed further and talk about the next question. Next question is on your screen. Just go through this question and let me know the answer. Next question is on you people's screen. So just go through the question and let me know the answer. Let me read it for you people. The question is, in India, deficit financing is used for raising resources for. In India, we have completed it, so it must be, that means all students' answers should be right. So the statement is, in India, deficit financing is used for raising resources for. Option A is economic development, option B is reduction of the public debt, option C is adjusting the balance of payment, option D is reducing the foreign debt. So what is going to be the right answer? Let me know the answer. Let me know the answer, dears. Shubham, let me know. Sachin, let me know the answer. Wrong. Ashwani, wrong. We have discussed now, deficit financing is nothing but that means just to take borrowings from RBI to meet out the mismatch between their temporary receipts and expenditure. Temporary receipts and expenditure, that means taking loan from the RBI through the ad hoc treasury bills before 1997, to meet out temporary mismatch between first quarter of total receipts and total expenditure of the government of India. That is known as deficit financing. And that means government, it was expected that once this quarter is going to be completed, government will return back the funds, but they never used to return back. That's why RBI has to print the money. That was known as deficit financing. So the right answer is going to be reduction of the public debt, because RBI is taking loans from RBI, reduction of the public debt. Okay, how many times I have to explain? Sachin Sharma, right answer. Sachin Sharma, right answer. So please, dears, have focus, have the concept clarity. Next question. Just go through the next question. Next question is on you people's screen. It is on your screen. It is on your screen. Just go through the question. The question is, let me read it for you. That question is, in the context of governance, consider the following. Consider the following. Very first statement is encouraging foreign direct investment inflows. Second is privatization of higher education institutions. Third option is downsizing the bureaucracy. Fourth option is selling or offloading the shares of public sector undertaking. Fourth option is selling or offloading the shares of the public sector undertaking. Question is, which of the above can be used? Which of the above can be used as measures to control fiscal deficit in India? Which of the above can be used as measures to control the fiscal deficit in India? So let me know the answer. Let me know the answer, dears. Let me know the answers. They are talking about that how the fiscal deficit of the government can be reduced or can be controlled. What should be the measures? Sachin Sharma, C. Wrong answer, Sachin. Wrong answer. Wrong answer, Sachin. Anybody else? Anchor. I will not explain. I will not answer, because otherwise people, that one is wrong. Okay, one is wrong. I can tell you that encouraging foreign direct investment inflow, that foreign direct investment flow is going to be the component of the BOP, balance of payment, not the government budget. That will be accounted in the BOP, balance of payment, not with the government budget. That's why first is outrightly wrong. Okay, now just solve it. Just solve it. Let me know how many of you has attended my session on budget. How many of you has attended my session on budget? Is there anyone who has attended my session on budget? Uh, Wrong answer, dear Ashwani. Wrong answer. It is not about your confirmation, Sachin dear. It is about the it is about the right answer. Okay. So the right answer is going to be 2, 3 and 4. Okay. So the right answer is B. Right answer is B. Okay. How it is going to be B? Let me explain it. It is not about your confirmation. Okay. UPSC does not run with your confirmation. So fiscal deficit, as I said, that what is fiscal deficit? Fiscal deficit is nothing but need of borrowing. Fiscal deficit is nothing but need of borrowing only. So that means when, as I said, that this encouraging foreign direct investment, it is going to be part of BOP, not government budget. Okay, be very clear. So that BOP has two parts. One is current account, other is capital account. This is going to be the part of capital account of BOP. So this is not going to be. Second is, if the government is going to privatize the higher educations, that means that the government education institutions, that means government is going to sold out their ownership to the education institutions, government education institutions, that may be medical college or that may be that ordinary education institutions. That means if government is selling, government is selling their ownership to the institutions, government is going, for that selling, government is going to get fund. If the government is going to get fund, that will be, that can be that means that is going to be instrumental for their receipts. So this will be the option. Okay, downsizing the bureaucracy, that means we are going to reduce the that bureaucracy. Okay, we are going to that means asking the bureaucrats to take voluntary retirement. If the government is going to ask the bureaucracy to take voluntary retirement, that means it is going to reduce the expenditure of the government in terms of revenue expenditure. Okay, that it is going to, that means it is going to reduce the salary payment of the government to the bureaucracy, because government has asked the bureaucracy to take retirement. If they are going to retire, it is going to reduce their salary burden. So this will reduce the fiscal deficit. So this is very clear. It will also be. Second is selling or offloading the share of public. This is just like that only, that if the government, suppose government in a sale, Steel Authority of India Limited, government has suppose 57% shareholding. Government is going to sold out 5% of shareholding to the private sector. Suppose Tata. Government is going to sold out Tata Group of 5%. So government will get the funds. So that means through that funds, government will need to take less borrowings. Okay, but the government ownership is going to be reduced from 57% to 52% by selling out 5%. So that means this will also reduce the fiscal deficit of the government. Fiscal deficit means need of borrowing. That's why the right answer is 2, 3 and 4, which is mentioned in options B. Okay, that's why the right answer will be B. Okay, right answer will be B only. I got it, Sachin, I got it. Okay, now we are going to proceed further and we are going to discuss the next question. The very next question is, consider the following actions by the government. Consider the following actions by the government. And very first statement is cutting the tax rates. Second is increasing the government spendings. Third option is abolishing the subsidies. Now I am going to read out the statement. Which of the above action can be considered? Which of the above actions can be considered a part of the fiscal stimulus package? Which of the above actions can be considered a part of the fiscal stimulus package? Fiscal stimulus. Okay, so select the correct answers using the codes given below. So let me know the answer, dears. Let me know the answers. Next question is on your screen and just go through it and let me know the answer. Just go through next question and let me know the answer. Anyone? Anyone? Is there anyone to attempt this question? Ashwani D. Wrong answer, dear. Wrong answer. Again wrong answer. Again wrong answer. Sachin, wrong answer, dear. I will request you people to go through my YouTube session on government that budget. Just go through my explanation of government budget on YouTube. Okay, I think you people do not have the concept clarity. Not think. I am very sure. I am very, very, very sure. Sachin Sharma, it is B only. Yeah, Ashwani, it's correct. It is B only. Not B. Sorry, it is not B. Okay, B is wrong answer. D is also wrong answer. So that's why whosoever has tried to attend it, they all are wrong. Till now, all are wrong only. Consider the following action by the government. Okay, do you know what is the meaning of fiscal stimulus? The meaning of fiscal stimulus is when there is slowdown in the economy. When there is slowdown in the economy, and why there is slowdown in the economy? Because people do not have the purchasing power. People do not have purchasing power. When people do not have the purchasing power, government try to increase their purchasing power. For that, government invest. For that, government invest in the economy, and that is known as fiscal stimulus. Government invest in the economy, that is known as fiscal stimulus. When there will be slowdown in the economy, why there is slowdown in the economy? Because people do not have the purchasing power. Because of that, aggregate demand in the economy has reduced. In that condition, how the government will return back the economy on the track? By investing heavily. And for that, government will invest on physical infrastructure. That means government will make the roads, government will make the bridges, government will make the railway tracks, government will make the hospitals, and for those making those hospitals, government will employ the labor force. Government will employ the labor force. When government will employ the labor force, their purchasing power will increase. When their purchasing power will increase, they will demand. That's why aggregate demand will increase. When the aggregate demand will increase, the aggregate supply will increase. And aggregate supply will increase, meaning production will increase, meaning economic growth will be there. Economic growth will be there. This process is known as fiscal stimulus. So that means making more that funds in the hands of the people. That is nothing but fiscal stimulus. Making availability of more funds in the hands of the people when there is slowdown in the economy, that is known as fiscal deficit. So when the government will cut the taxes, when the government will cut the taxes, there will be more funds availability with the public. When government will cut the taxes, there will be more fund availability with the public. Like let's give me a explanation for it. Let me give a explanation for it. Suppose your income is 50,000. Suppose your income is 50,000 and government is levying the taxes at the rate of 10%. So you have to pay the taxes at 5,000 rupees as a tax. So your that aggregate, that means personal disposable income is going to be 45,000. It is going to be 45,000. That money in your hand is going to be 45,000. Suppose government reduce this taxes from 10% to 5%. So you have to pay the taxes only 2,500 only. 2,500 only. So your personal disposable income will be 47,250. So that means just tell me whether you are in position to purchase more things with 47,250 or with 45,000. Definitely with the 47,000. So that means this will increase the aggregate demand. So it will also increase the aggregate supply. So that means this is very clear that this will be the part of the fiscal stimulus. Second is increasing the government spending. This is the thing we have explained. That's why this and this is going to be the right. Why abolishing the subsidy? If the government is going to reduce the subsidy, that is going to make the prices, that is going to increase the prices in the economy. So that will that means this will further be instrumental for reducing their aggregate demand, because they have to get that means for purchasing the things they have to spend more money. That will further reduce their aggregate demand. So this will not be. So C, third will not be. That's why the right answer will be 1 and 2 only, and that is mentioned in option A only. That's why the right answer will be option A only. The right answer will be option A only. Is it clear? Is it clear, dears? Is it clear, dears? Now, next question. Just go through the next question. It is on your screen. The very first question is, which of the following is or are included in the capital budget of the Government of India? The question is, which of the following is or are included in the capital budget of the Government of India? Very first statement is expenditure on the acquisition of the assets like road, buildings, machinery, etc. Second option is loans received from the foreign governments. C option is loan and advances granted to the states and the union territory. So which of the following are included in the capital budget? They are talking about capital budget. So what is going to be? What is going to be the right answer? What is going to be the right answer? Let me know the answer. Let me know the answer, dears. Rishabh. Wrong answer, Rishabh. Wrong answer, Rishabh. Anybody else? Anybody else? I told na, Rishabh, answer D answer is wrong. Shubham, it's C. C is also wrong. C is also wrong. Rishabh, A. It's right. It's right, Rishabh. Rishabh, it's right. 1 and 2 only. Okay, A. How it is A only, Rishabh? How it is A? It should not be fluke. Fluke. It should not be fluke, na? Ankita Pandey. A. Yeah. Right, Ankita? But why A? Let me explain. Shall I explain or can we proceed? Let me know, shall I explain it or we can proceed? Yeah, absolutely right, Rishabh. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. The thing is, as I said that this government budget can be categorized under two categories. One is revenue budget, other is capital budget. So revenue budget means revenue receipts and revenue expenditure, and capital budget means capital receipts and capital expenditure. So capital receipts, the nature is assets are going to decrease and liability is going to increase, whereas capital expenditure, assets are going to increase and liability is going to decrease. So that means in both cases, here it will be part of capital expenditure. It will be part of capital expenditure. Because of this, government has to spend the funds. Government has to spend the funds. But because of those spending, government's assets are going to be created. More and more physical infrastructure is going to develop. That's why it will be capital expenditure. And capital expenditure is also part of capital budget only. Okay, so that's why it will be. Second is loan received from the foreign government. That if the government is going to receive the funds from the foreign government, that means they are going to take the funds. Okay, so that will be part of capital receipt. Okay, that is going to increase their borrowings. So this will be part of capital receipt. This will be capital receipt. That is going to increase their liability, future repayment that means liability. So this and this, and it will not be, because when government is going to give the advances to the state or union government, it will be part of revenue expenditure. It will be part of revenue expenditure of the government. That will be part of the revenue account. That will be part of revenue account, not capital accounts. That's why C will be wrong. C will be wrong. That's why 1 and 8 will be correct, which is mentioned in option A. Which is mentioned in option A. That's why right answer is A only. Right answer is A only. Now let's proceed further. And let's discuss the next question. Next question. There has been a persistent deficit budget year after year. Which action or actions can of the following can be taken by the government to reduce the deficit? Next question is on your screen. Next question is on your screen. Just go through it and let me know the answer. Just go through it and let me know the answer. Let me read it for you people. That question is, there has been a persistent deficit budget year after year. Which action or actions of the following can be taken by the government to reduce the deficit? The very first statement is reducing revenue expenditure. Second option is introducing new welfare schemes. Third option is rationalizing subsidies. Fourth option is reducing import duty. Select the correct answer using the codes given below. So you have to select the right answer. Let me know the right answer. Right answer. Absolutely correct, Rishabh. Correct. Rishabh, correct answer. Okay, if the government is going to reduce the government expenditure or revenue expenditure, it will reduce the budget deficit. Similarly, if the government is going to rationalize the subsidy, then definitely fiscal deficit or government deficit will decrease. Okay, so that's why the right answer is 1 and 3. Okay, whereas if a government is going to introduce new schemes, definitely it will increase the government expenditure. Okay, so it will increase the fiscal deficit. Similarly, reducing import duty, that will be part of the BOP, not here. Okay, so that's why this is wrong and this is wrong, and 1 and 3 is right. That's why the right answer is A and 3 only. Let's proceed further. Next question is on your screen. Just go through it and let me know the answer. Next question is on your screen. Just go through it and let me know the answer. Let me read it for you people. The question is, which of the following is or are included in the capital budget of the government of India? I am going to repeat once again. Which of the following is or are included in the capital budget of the government of India? The very first statement is expenditure on the acquisition of fighter aircraft. Second option is financial assistance received from the World Bank. C option is loans made by the foreign governments. Fourth option is grants given to the state and union territory every year. Okay, select the correct answer using the codes given below. So let me know the answer. Is there anyone who want to attempt it? Shubham, A. Wrong answer, Shubham. Shubham, wrong answer. Anybody else? Rishabh, will you try to attempt it? Correct answer, Rishabh. Absolutely correct. Correct, Rishabh, correct. Correct answer. Shubham dear, the if the government is going to acquire the fighter aircraft, okay, I talked about that defense expenditure is part of revenue expenditure of the government. Defense expenditure contains the revenue expenditure, be the capital formation or not, so it is nothing but defense expenditure only, so it will be part of revenue expenditure. Revenue expenditure, that's why it will be part of revenue account, okay, not capital account or capital budget. This financial assistance received by the government, by the government from World Bank, that means government is taking loan from the World Bank, that will be part of capital receipt. Capital receipt, which is going to increase, liability of the government, liability of the government in future. That's why it will be part of capital budget. Capital budget that is going to constitute capital budget. Third option is loan made by the foreign government. That means loan made to the by the foreign government, that will also be capital receipt by the government, that is going to increase their future liability. That's why it will also be part of capital budget. Capital budget. This grants given to the state or union territory, it will be part of the revenue expenditure. Revenue expenditure. Revenue expenditure. That's why it will be part of revenue account. That's why this fourth and one will not be, whereas 2 and 3 will be. That's why the right answer is B only. B only. Right answer is B only. Good, Rishabh, very good. Now, let's proceed further. Next question. Just go through the next question. Next question is on your screen. Just go through it and let me know the right answer. Let me read it for you people. The very first, the statement is, which of the following statement appropriate describe the fiscal stimulus? Again, fiscal stimulus. Which one of the following statements appropriately describes the fiscal stimulus? Very first option is, A option is, it is massive investment by the government in manufacturing sector to ensure the supply of goods to meet the demand surge caused by the rapid economic growth. Second option is, B option is, it is an intense affirmative action of the government to boost economic activity in the country. C option is, it is government's intensive action on financial institutions to ensure disbursement of loan to the agriculture and allied sector to promote greater food production and contains food inflation. D option is, it is extreme affirmative action by the government to pursue its policy of financial inclusion. So what is going to be the right answer? Let me know the answer. Let me know the answer. Absolutely correct, Ashwani. Good, good, good attempt. Very good attempt. Good attempt, Subham. Good attempt. Anybody else? What is about Rishabh? Will you like to attempt it? We have talked about that when there will be slowdown, in order to increase the aggregate demand in the economy, in order to increase, right answer Shubham, in order to increase purchasing power of the people, government will invest heavily in the economy. especially on physical infrastructure. That is known as fiscal stimulus. That is known as fiscal stimulus. So that is nothing but B only. Okay, that it is intense affirmative action by the government to boost the economic activity in the country. Okay, the right answer. Okay, this A will not be, and that is right answer is B only. So all has attempted right only. So next question, that finish our topic or questions, and we are going to finish here only. And if there is any doubt regarding anything, you can connect me with this Telegram ID. This is all about our today's session, and we will continue do this practice regularly. And if you people are interested, let me know. Let me know, and you will get lot many things on this Telegram ID. So I will advise or I will recommend you people to join this Telegram ID. If there is any doubt regarding these questions, let me know. If there is any concept clarity regarding these questions, let me know. Thank you, dears. Thanks a lot. Be stop here. Thank you very much, dears. Thanks a lot. Be stop here. Thanks a lot. Today it will be on same topic only. Today it will be on same topic, but tomorrow onwards it will be different. Okay, today it will be same. Thank you very much, dears. Thanks a lot.